Hello, boys and girls. Now, I'm not gonna lie, this is a little bit of a curveball for a matchup, but the main plot of Vigilantes, for the first season at least, is Knuckleduster bringing his kid back who's been possessed by a quirk, which is the power system of MHA's verse. What are Momo and Otaru's powers from? Well, there is that little bit of correlation. Also, I just think it's fun. I think this matchup is fun, so I'm gonna make it. So, without further ado, let's see if Knuckleduster can catch Otaru and Momo. So, for Knuckleduster, how does he scale? Well, for an old man, he is insane. Now, my hero does have a lot of attack potency feats, and while Knuckleduster shouldn't really scale to most of them, like Midoriya punching away everything, Knuckleduster should scale to the lower end feats, such as Midoriya kicking in some stone when he was using 5% of full cowl. This came out to around 711 tons of TNT or multi-city block level. So yeah, Knuckleduster is packing quite a punch. Now for speed, he should scale, at least combat speed wise, to Overclock, who can be clocked in anywhere from Mach 25 to Mach 206. So either high hypersonic to massively hypersonic. On top of that, he does carry a stun gun, which should incapacitate most people he deals with, unless they obviously have some electrocution quirk. Poisonous bug spray, but that doesn't really do anything in this matchup. Just thought I'd bring it up. He does have a grappling hook, and it is also to note that his durability is not as great as his attack potency. This also does align pretty well with the narrative of the story. After all, he uses, special brass knuckles to beat people up. So it's safe to say that with that weapon, he'd get into these city block level ranges, or multi-city block, but his durability would not correspond properly. Anyway, that's all of Knuckleduster. He's also insane, but I gotta be honest, for some reason, a lot of combatants I have on this show are insane, so I don't know. Maybe it's a me problem. Who knows? Anyway, let's move on to the dynamic duo that are trying to take him on. Let's see if Otaru and Momo can surpass this. So, as far as their attack potency, they should scale to Momo's vast amounts of psychic powers, and in this instance, she was actually able to generate the equivalent of 353.8 tons of TNT, which is also multi-city block level, oddly enough. Now, getting into speed, Otaru, obviously in Turbo Granny, it's stated verbatim he can run at 100 kilometers an hour, which is extremely fast. And Momo should scale to that, maybe not necessarily in travel speed, but definitely in combat speed. So, yeah. Anyway, now we are going to move on to how these two combatants compare. So, breaking it down, in the actual fight itself, we have Otaru and Momo being around 0.08 Mach, whereas Knuckleduster is Mach 25 at the low end, meaning he should be 312 times faster. And he also should compare the 711 tons of TNT to 353, so he should be around 2.01 times stronger. However, it is important to note that he most likely would not be able to see Momo's psychic attacks, so there is the chance of him getting caught off guard. However, since he is so much faster and a little bit stronger, he should be able to blitz around and harm them. On top of that, Otaru, with his Turbo Granny, can most likely warp his body in an effort to keep him going, even if he is severely damaged. And Momo should relatively be able to do the same thing with her psychic powers, but the chances of that happening, A, consistently enough, and B, fast enough in order to keep Knuckleduster on the back foot long enough for them to get enough lucky shots in to bring him down, it just leads to a relatively disingenuous argument that these two can win. Now, do they have a chance? Yes. Especially because of Momo. Momo having psychic powers really does benefit her in this instance, and most likely Knuckleduster would not be able to see it. So it's pretty good. It is it is a good win condition. However, unfortunately, 312 times faster, and that's the low end. Keep in mind, we can get Knuckleduster anywhere up to Mach 206, which would widen the speed gap already so much so that the likelihood of them even being able to perceive Knuckleduster is insane. Alright? There is no quantifiable amount for an actual blitz in a TV show. I haven't been able to find anything as far as, like, you know, if you're 10 times faster than this person, can you speed blitz them? As there is in, say, a 1-shot or 2-shot, or, you know, something like that. However, he is 312 times faster. How are they going to catch him as far as combat speed? You could maybe make the argument that Turbo Granny's running speed is faster than Knuckleduster running, but if Knuckleduster can dodge all of Momo's and Otaru's attack and then smack them square in the jaw, well, even if he doesn't knock them out on the first try, he can continuously hit them with real no consequence. And that's the thing. They do have a win condition, and it is a good one because he can't see it, but at the same time, if he actually takes the fight relatively seriously, he can walk forward and punch them and knock them out. Or punch them, hit them with a barrage, knock them out. Or he can blitz them and then electrocute them with said stun gun that I was talking about that was able to stun others. So, in other words, Knuckleduster is taking this very comfortably. I am very, very, very sure that he will be making it out of this alive, and with 2 more children that he kind of stuck adopting now. Because I transported them into the My Hero world. But hey, me being chaotic neutral aside, I hope you guys had some fun with this. I am actually really hyped about DanDaDan coming out right now. I'm excited to see what they do and if they take any animation liberties, and if that will turn Otaru and Momo into some higher tiers going forward. If you guys do see anything, you do have some extra scaling, or you just want to talk about how it's sick how Otaru kicked the evil eye or something like that, let me know in the comments below. And without further ado, this is Rox signing out.